for heel and toe for toe. To the picket line we go, Govan Hill campaigners. Come and join our merry choir, gather round the picket fire. People raise your voices higher, Govan Hill campaigners.
Step we gaily on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe. To the picket line we go, Govan Hill campaigners.
Charlie Gordon won't be here, can he show his face for fear? He'll be kicked out on his ear, Govan Hill campaigners.
Step we gaily on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe. To the picket line we go, Govan Hill campaigners.
Come and join our merry throng, join in our defiant song. Victory before too long.
I tended to use the pool when it was open, at least twice a week. It's a habit you get into. It's good for keeping yourself fit. I did end up joining a gym, but because the way the times work and the actual paying of it as well is a lot more expensive, I ended up jacking that in, so I don't tend to do the same amount of exercise as I used to.
But if it wasn't for the gym, I wouldn't be going at all, because I wouldn't go to either Bellahouston or I wouldn't go to either Bellahouston or the Gorbals, the nearest ones. When the back shut, I used to go to Rutherglen, and I used to have to get a number 12 bus there, and it was a bit of a trek, but I used to go as often as I can. But now that's closed down as well, so you can't even get there. So there's very few places in the south side, and even Castlemilk's closed down now for 2 years. When it opens up, they're going to use it as a kind of leisure pool, which I believe means that there won't be so good a swimming area. It's going to be kind of for splashing and messing about in, rather than, a kind of no-nonsense swimming pool as it used to be before.
Well, when the pool was open, I used to swim 7 days a week. Just an early morning swim just for get the exercise over with. That was for the day. I try to keep it up. I don't swim as well. I swim I try to 6 days a week, more so because it's awkward getting buses one thing or another on a Sunday. So I tend to give to miss Sunday, but that's about the only time,
How did I get involved in the Govan Hill Bards Community Trust? Well, I used to be involved in the previous campaign, which was Southside Against Closure, Save the Bards campaign. And I was one of the sort of leading members. We had a large activist group, and I got involved quite early on. I was there during the occupation and was involved in the occupation. As I lived in the area, I used to use the baths, so I was quite passionate about the local facility. So I've sort of stayed with the campaign until its evolution now into a trust.
There was a meeting of the Govan Hill Baths Trust, so I'm ready to find out what was happening, and that's when I get involved. Myself, as I say, all the ground, stick up posters, one thing or another, maybe help out the car boot sale, or hand out leaflets. But I think they're doing a good job. They seem to be making progress.
From a council hating us and spending hundreds of thousands on security to keep us out of the building and deploying a huge police force to kick us out, they're now talking to us and considering looking at our proposal to turn the building into a healthy living centre for the area. So massive progress on that level, but also we've sustained a huge amount of community support over the 4 or 5 years we've been active. So that's a success as well.
Well, originally I was one of the people who occupied the building, and on that evening, just when it was due to close, it was in the last week, we went and we occupied it, and I was on the picket line, all the time really. I used to do the shift 6 o'clock in the morning. I think it was 4 mornings a week, and then I used to do one day in the weekend, early morning as well, up until about 10.
The closure came at the same time as they were closing the breast screening clinic, that there were threats to the library, they'd closed down the social security in the area. So there was a massive attack in the area in terms of benefits and leisure facilities, and a huge problem with council housing. So it was a neighbourhood that was under severe attack, and this was like the final straw. The community had had it up to here, quite, to be frank with you, and they just stomped their feet. And there are a number of people who were able to galvanise all that into a campaign.
It certainly helps to gel a community together, something like that. You get all walks of life going in there, all different types of people, and when you're going in on a regular basis and you're seeing the same people, the same faces every week, you're building up friendship with people that you'd normally just pass the street on.
People I used to see regularly in the pool that I've never seen before. A lot of elderly people especially used to see swimming quite a lot. I've never seen them since. I don't know what's happened to them.
It's a busy place between kids and adults, and the people that they must have met there. You could tell it was different groups, but the children, that must be really really hard for them, because I don't think that even with the adults, I thought when I went to the baths up in Castlemilk, I thought maybe they'd all turn up there, but no, I don't know whether they've stopped going or went to their baths.
I think, well, we're hoping now that the council will see reason as far as, allowing us to take over the building again. That we've always had the arguments on our side, and I think that the council should really now see that it's best for the community to have it as a swimming pool, because the community want it as a swimming pool. There have been issues between us and the council in the past.
I think they did everything they could to smash us, to be honest with you. They tried employing security guards around the clock. They got the police involved on horses, trying to smash the picket lines. They tried to discredit us in the media. They tried to ostracise us politically. They closed down community councils, which we were involved in. They closed down 2 community councils overnight when we all got elected onto them. They did everything they possibly could to shut us up. So they did what they always do, to be honest. I think sometimes we think we live in a democracy, but democracy is more than a tick every 4 years in a ballot box. It's your day-to-day relationship with the council.
I felt that the way the council dealt with the closure of Govanhill Pool was really bad, because it all happened quite suddenly. There'd been talk of it for a couple of years, and then suddenly it was happening. They didn't inform people properly what was going to be happening, and when it actually came to the closure of it, with the sit-in and everything, I think it was very, very badly handled.
I think the council have been very, 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 I don't know, two-faced with it. That one minute they're on about, we've got things for the children to do and cut down on vandalism, and to me that would help if it would cut a lot out, because seemingly when Castlemilk, when they started allowing the kids into the bath for free, they reckoned that in Castlemilk that even the vandalism up there dropped. So it must have been doing some good.
If you speak to anybody in the community about the pool, or in fact anybody in Glasgow about it, they all say it's a shame the council closed down the pool. You hear that time and time again. What a shame. So if the council care what people think about them, that they would be happy to see the pool open again in an area like that where there are a lot of people living and really very, very few facilities. After
this campaign, in everything else they've done, they've been much more serious about community consultation, about making sure they can gauge, people's feelings in the area, having to take notice and be seen to be taking notice of what community groups think. So that we've had a bit of an impact there, but left to their own devices, they'd be shitting all over the place and getting away with it, and they have done in Glasgow. This is the only old pool still remaining standing.
When first they closed our pool, did they think that we were fools, that we just take their rule? Then we occupied.